Reports this morning, President Biden's team revised his first State of the Union address to address the growing concerns as Russia invades Ukraine. RNC Chairwoman Ronna McDaniel joining us right now. Good morning to you. Thanks for joining us.
Good morning. Great to be with you.
This is President Biden's first State of the Union. You know, he's had a tough year. His poll numbers are horrific. They have been for months. What are you looking to hear him say tonight that you think could change the minds of the American people?
Well, I'm actually looking to see if he'll actually address the concerns of the American people or if he'll continue to turn kind of a blind eye to the rising gas prices, the inflation, the cost of living burden that people are feeling, the fact that we have a border that's porous, a drug issue. There's so many things that the American people are worried about. I will say on the other side, we are rooting for our world leaders right now, including our president, as we have a crisis unfolding in Ukraine, and we want him to make the right decisions. And I think we want to hear him talk about ramping up oil production in the United States and stopping imports from Russia, because we're in essence funding this war for Putin, and we need to take that weapon away from him.
You know, Chairwoman, a new poll shows most Americans believe Russia invaded Ukraine specifically at this time because President Biden and the administration looked weak. Tennessee Senator Marsha Blackburn even recently said, quote, they're going to need to buckle down and do some hard work on these foreign policy issues. We've got a lot of countries now that are very upset with the U.S. because we've appeared weak and indecisive about how we were going to move forward against aggressors. What do you think would restore trust in the U.S.? What will successfully send a strong message to other nations like China, who have their own motives at this point?
Well, I think the sanctions are good. I think getting Russia out of the SWIFT bank is good. But, you know, Germany's really been the one leading. It hasn't been the U.S. leading. But we do need to be united against this aggressor. And I think if the Biden administration would restore the Keystone Pipeline, if they would say, yes, we're going to resume drilling of oil and gas, and we're going to stop importing from Russia when it's $100 a barrel, every time gas goes up, oil and gas goes up, it's funding Russia. It's allowing them to continue this war. Why are we continuing to rely on Russian oil and gas? I think that would be a very strong, decisive move for this administration.
According to a new poll from ABC News and the Washington Post, 37%, just 37% approve of the job the president's done so far. 55% disapprove. Now, this is similar to polling you conducted at the RNC that found 41% approve and 53% disapprove. So let's talk about these numbers very quickly. What are you hearing from voters right now? What is top of their minds as we get into the midterms?
Well, they're frustrated. They're paying more for everything. They're feeling the burden of inflation, of gas prices. But beyond that, they don't feel like they have a president who's listening or cares. And Biden has not shown that. He hasn't addressed the American people and recognized that his policies contributed to this. And so I think they're looking for a change. We're seeing that in our polling, and they want to see Republicans take the reins because they actually want a party that's listening to them instead of doubling down on division. You know, Joe Biden ran as a uniter. If you look at his inaugural address just a year ago, he talks about unity and bipartisanship. We've seen none of that from him in the past year, and I think many Americans are disappointed.
One thing we will see tonight, Iowa Governor Kim Reynolds, she's going to deliver the Republican response to the State of the Union. What can you share with us about the governor's response? What should we expect to hear tonight from her?
You know, I think the Republican governors have shown what Republican leadership can do for this country. Republican states are leading in the economic recovery. Out of the 20 states that have added jobs, 17 of them have been led by Republicans. They kept their schools open. They balanced the science of the pandemic and keeping their populations healthy and safe with keeping their economy open. Those are the things that Republican governors stand for. Kim Reynolds is a star from Iowa, and I think she's going to be really welcome to the American people when they get introduced to her. For many of them, the first time tonight, she's a great messenger for our party.
And you were just now returning from CPAC, where former President Donald Trump did tease a possible run for president in 2024. He easily won the straw poll there as the top Republican presidential nomination that you guys always hold. So what are you hearing? Is he going to run again?
You know, it's such a long way away. There's so much that's going to happen between now and 2024. And I always caution, and I know it's so exciting to talk about, but we have to focus on 2022 and winning back the House and the Senate. We already saw the Democrats try and pass sweeping voter legislation to federalize elections which would have made it impossible for a Republican to win in 2024. So we've got to keep our eye on this election, then we'll worry about 2024.
RNC Chairwoman Ronna McDaniel, we appreciate you joining us this morning here on the National Desk.
Thanks for having me.
Thank you.
Thank you.